Yeah.
I got this song on in the background for a reason.
Yeah.
Because
it's Choke No Joke.
Choke No Joke is in the building. Let people know, like, Choke, you do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's too much of a mouthful for me to say. But you're most noted for right now is the Death of a Dynasty documentary, correct?
It's called A Genius Leaves the Hood, the unauthorized story of Jay-Z.
Listen, what was it like to get that out, and what made you think, okay, let me capture this footage as I'm living the experience to ever even to put it out there like that?
Well, I mean, I was hired, you know, to capture it. You know, I was doing my Tunnel DVDs at the time.
Right.
And when I dropped Tunnel 4, which was the best of Jay-Z, I went up to Rockefeller and I was trying to get some commercials for it to put on it. Right. You know, some trailers to put on it. Right. And Dame asked to see it. He saw it. He was impressed, you know, that I did it all myself. And he asked me to come work for Rockefeller. And that's how it happened.
Wow. So for those who don't know, he's talking about the legendary Tunnel 33rd and 11th.
26 and 11th.
26 and 11th?
Yeah. 33rd Street? That's one block from 34th Street. You know that ain't right.
Yeah, 26.
You've been in Atlanta too long, brother.
Okay, the legendary Tunnel, that's when I saw Big Daddy Kane walk in the building. He looked like he wanted to battle LL. He came in with the hoodie, and everybody thought it was going to go down, but it didn't go down. LL just walked off the stage. I was like, oh, it's about to go down. But anyway, so what was your break into the business?
Shit. I mean, I started off rapping.
Right.
And then, you know, I started doing the modeling and acting.
Right.
And then when I was on the set, you know, doing modeling and acting, I started bringing my camera on the set. You know, when I was doing music videos or movies or whatever it was. And, you know, like, if I, you know, like I was in the Hate Me Now video. Right. While Hype was shooting his scene, I'll be sneaking with my little camera and shooting my own little scene.
That's Hype Williams, people, the legendary videographer and director.
Yeah, and you know, while Hype was shooting, whether it was Hype, Little X, Paul Hunter, you know, I worked with them all. You know, I would just shoot my own version of the video while they was filming. They didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll go home and chop it up on 2 VCRs. On VHSs rather. And that's how I was editing. You know what I'm saying? Before I learned how to edit, before I knew about Avid and, you know, Final Cut. Back then it was like,
you was doing your thing.
Media 100.
You was heavy. It was one point that you couldn't make moves without seeing. Like if I did a party, I seen Choke No Joke. I had a meeting, Choke No Joke was there. In fact, I had a meeting like I was just off the air. I was talking about, like, I had a magazine that was like top magazine in New York. And the go-through person was Choke No Joke to get the interview with the blasting games, and it was actually a photo shoot for one of their magazines. I think it was SSX or Black Men's, one of them. And he had the chick at the hotel, and he's like, "Yo, to make this pop off, we gotta have, you know, Marcus gotta have the bottles." So I had to run back downstairs, grab 2 bottles of something. And ever since then, I kept seeing you at every event, doing something, hearing that you're doing something. And then when I was chilling in my office, that's when I heard about the movie situation with the movie or the DVD.
The movie Cold Blue, I did?
Right.
Yeah, the feature film Cold Blue, starring Vincent Pastore, J.D. Williams, Gano Grills, Sunday Carter, Jay Yorker, Dennis White. You know, a few
Gano Grills, that's my dude. We grew up in Staten Island. Yeah. So I mean, he's doing big things too. He's like, right now he's in the UK doing something.
Yeah. I always mess with Gano because, you know, he a graffiti artist. So whenever he posts up like pics of his graffiti, I tag his spit.
For those who don't know, that's from B Street.
yeah.
Remo. Anyway, yo, so how did you get, like, was it hard putting that spin on Jay-Z and Dame's life out there? Did they give you a hard time getting that out there?
No, actually, it's a company called Mogul. Mogul is owned. Mogul owns Bossa, Hip Hop Wired, Madame Noir. That's the company that put it out. I'm a producer on that project. Okay. You know, and you know, you know, I brought some people to the table like Jazzo, as well as...
We just saw Jazzo the other day. So what is it like, what's a check like from that? Like, how do you get paid walking around with a camera and capturing footage? And what outlets do you go to try to get that stuff placed?
I mean, you mean like overall?
Overall, like you got, like say like B's got like a bunch of maybe B-roll or just footage that now is worth something. Because I know I caught a check. Right. Somebody called me. I had some old footage of Nicki, and I didn't think it was worth anything. Right. And then I just got a call out the blue from Q, from World Star, that he heard I had the footage. Right. And he cut me a check for 3 stacks. Right. And I was like, yo, I got to start finding see if I got any more footage. So I was just wondering, like, is there any way that you could get, like, because I know that you also worked on the reality situation, like with Miss Drama. How did that come about? Well,
Kia, you know, I was managing Kia, Baby Doll Jeffries, right, and you know, her situation. Right. So they had that show, The Gossip Game. Right. And I initially brought it to the girl Viv, and that didn't work. So I took it to Jazz Fly. Right. I took it to Jazz Fly, and then me and Jazz Fly, we talked about it, and then we worked it out with Kim Osario, who was editor-in-chief at The Source at the time. Source, yeah. And, you know, I wanted Kia to tell her story. Right. You know, the best way she could, because there was a lot of speculation. Right. So it was more damage control, you know, to get her on the show than anything, because, you know, people was looking at her real crazy, and that wasn't the case. So, you know, I got her on the show to have a voice.
Kia Jeffries is on here, for those who don't know, from 2 to 4 on 105 Radio. Man, and now you dabbing in music. You always dabbed in music, but now you're really taking it to the next level. So tell us a little bit about what's going on with the music stuff.
I mean, the music stuff right now, I'm managing a few acts. I manage Tony Yayo of G Unit, or formerly of G Unit. Caitlin Howard, who's Mickey Howard's daughter.
You know, I can't let you just slide with that. Formerly of G Unit. Build on that a little bit. What is that? Because I saw 50 speak on it on the Breakfast Club a little bit about Yayo, right, and Lloyd Banks coming out. So that's the done deal? There's no more G Unit?
I mean, technically 50 own the company. Right. You know, so the brand is there. But as them as a group, it's just not, they not vibing right now. Let's just say that.
All right, so yeah, I interviewed Banks at the G Unit office. Now that's on 33rd, right?
No, now it's on 40th.
Oh, but it was next to the Garden.
Yeah.
Okay, don't make me think I'm crazy over here, Chuck. Because I was in the building. I was like, damn, was I next to the Garden?
Yeah, but they moved now. They near the Times.
All right, so you're managing. Let's start over.
Tony Yayo.
Caitlin
Howard, which is Mickey Howard's daughter, and you know her brother's B Howard.
Right. This is supposed to be Michael Jackson's son.
Right. Yeah. Emil. Who else do I have right now? Trick from Detroit. Okay. Jackie Christie, Basketball Wives LA.
Whoa. Okay. You struggling to remember big people. Like, what's going on up there?
I got a lot going on.
Exactly. Too much going on. Dude, slide me some of them checks. Right. Okay, so like, so what the Mickey Howard's daughter? What is she doing? Rapping, singing?
She's a singer. Her name is Caitlin Howard. She has an album dropping in July called Love Speaker, and she's dope. She's dope. I would really like for you to play some of her music.
I really would play it, but Emil. I gotta ask the question. It was speculative that she was working at Walmart or something like that after the whole Rockefeller situation. So how did you, Emil? Was you at Walmart shopping and you said, "Hey, Emil, what's good? Let's go to."
Come on, you're disrespectful right now.
I'm just saying, like, how that come about?
I mean, you know, I used to work at Rockefeller for years, and I met Emil during that time. You know, as I was going in, she was coming out. And, you know, we always been cool. She's from Mount Vernon. I'm from the Bronx.
Okay,
I'm from Mount Vernon.
She's from Mount Vernon. Anyway, she had to slide that in. I don't know why I chose, but she did.
Money on it.
But Ernie's in the building. So I'm going to dig deep. If you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer.
And she never worked at Walmart, just to be clear.
Okay, yeah, all right. Damn, I thought I was going to get that smiley face discount. Did her and Jay-Z kick it? Did they do something? Because I heard that the reason why she got the boot is because Jay-Z impregnated her. They had a relationship. He wanted her to get rid of the child. Is any of that? I mean, I know you're the manager. This is damage control time right here.
There's no, to my knowledge, there's no truth to that. I know all her kids. I know all her kids' fathers. And Jay-Z. So she's not
getting the check from Jigga Man.
Nah, Amel straight. Amel owns a hair salon.
Okay.
You know, she's dealt with some men that was, you know, very fortunate, and she's good.
That's what I heard.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go no further than that.
Well, we have to call her and get her on the
exactly. No, we're not gonna do that today. But we're gonna make sure. Because right now the tension's right here. So we're nigga, what you talking about? I'm a male. We ain't gonna go there with that.
You don't want to go with her.
Yeah, we not. I know. Not today. Exactly. So we got a joint buying mill here. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you want to?
It's called. This joint is called "What You Need." It's off. It's the first single off her new mixtape called "Another Moment in Life," which is, you know, an acronym for Amel.
That's what's up. Now, is she the type of artist that has to be motivated? Did you actually reach out to her? Like, yo, let's get back in the studio. Let's get this.
Yeah, she needs motivation. The reason why Amel hasn't been in the game is because she don't have the passion for it.
Right.
It just fell in her lap.
Right.
You know, she met Jay.
She could have been that chick. Because she's on a hot record with Jazzo. You know.
Yeah, Jay-Z. Yeah.
Chicka who?
She had to join with Beyonce.
Right.
I got that. It's just that her heart ain't in it.
Right. I can see why.
You know the politics behind it.
Beyonce got anything to do with that? We're going to talk about that.
There was no Beyonce and Jay when she did the song.
Exactly, I know. Man, we're going to get into this record with Amel. I'm very interested to hear it. I'm sure everybody in the room is now that we bigged it up like that. So give it a little introduction real quick.
All right, there's a new joint by Million. It's called "What You Need," right here on A105 with my boy Big Ray.
Let's go. Let's
get into it.
Beat sick.
Let me tell you what you need, baby.